Hello, everyone. You're welcome to this channel. My name is Shegun Oke, and today we'll be talking about the giving ourselves a guideline, and that is that will be needed for the second phase of EB1, EB2. We call it immigrant visa processing, IVP. This particular episode or this particular presentation, it's solely for those that their case have been approved. What do I mean by the case has been approved? For example, if your lawyer applied for you or your attorney filed a petition for you for I-140, the next stage is we can, for those of us that we are outside the United States, you are to embark on another journey called IVP, which is immigrant visa processing. Anyway, before we move on, let me quickly put this disclaimer. I'm not an immigration expert. This particular presentation is just for us to guide ourselves, just to enlighten ourselves. And since I've passed through that particular stage, I can use that one to, using this presentation just to guide ourselves, like I put it there. So I'm not an immigration expert. I'm not an attorney. I don't have any group filing for anyone. But if you need any assistance or any help that any guide that I can render, I will be glad to do that. Just leave your comments, like, share to as many people that are possible. So without wasting much of our time, let's go into some of those key points that would be needed. So, like I put to us, let's say that my case had been approved. What do I need to do at this stage? The first thing we need to do at this stage is just the first thing is for us to try as much as possible to put our documents together. EB1, EB2, immigrant visa guide, a guide. Remember, this particular EB1, EB2 is documentation process, and it's all about bringing one document or the other. Once you can bring all your documents at a go, you are good to go. And you might not need any other person. You can do the second stage by yourself. So let's move on. What are the processes? Immigrant visa process. Step 1 is submit a petition. Step 2 is NVC processing. What are the NVC processing? We call it National Visa Center processing. Step 3 is you pay the fee. Step 4, now, I would like to quickly say this. Step 4 and step 5, for those of us that are doing EB1 and EB2, we don't need affidavits of support. It's not part of the requirement. Financial documents is not part of the requirement. Remember that your case has been approved, your I-140 has been approved, and affidavits of support, you don't need it. You don't need any, except those people, probably someone with green card is filing for you, then you need affidavits of support. But in the case that you are filing from outside, especially you are filing from you are filing, your petition is all about EB1 and EB2, so you don't need what we call affidavits of support of financial documents. We will open, I will open the stage, the link one after the other step. So let me just explain. Step 6 is whereby you do your online application. Online application here, there's this form we call, this is where you fill the form DS-260. DS-260 is, I'll show us the sample of DS-262, how you can get a sample. I'll show everything to us. Then step 7 is civil document. This is the crucial. This is the crucial aspect of all our documents. So we have to be careful at this stage. So from there, if you put all, you fill the form, you pay the, don't forget, you pay the fee. After the approval, the MVC processing will start. And MVC will send, the USCIS will send your document to MVC. You receive a case number. I'll show us the case number. The case number is like this. So it's like this invoice. Look at it. You will receive email showing us this LILN D, let's say this is for London. Let's say you are applying from United Kingdom. So you have your case number. You're applying from Nigeria. You have, I think, you see, Lagos, AALAG or thereabouts. They always have a code for each one. So at this point, all the people that are involved in your case, let's say yourself, your spouse, or your husband, your kids, all of them, all your independent, they will be listed here for for you to fill the they call it IVP application fee. So all this will be there, and you tick each of you select each of those points. Immediately, then you can make the IVP fee. Remember, like I told you, for those of us applying for EB1, EB2, you don't need affidavits of support. Like this one now in step 3 said, there are 2 processing fee. Number 1, immigrant visa application processing fee. Number 2, affidavits of support fee. It is not for those of us in EB1, EB2 to pay affidavits of support. Please take note. Always have it at the back of your mind. You as Department of State will always release all their forms is a general form. All you need to do is just pick the one that concerns you. So after you make your payments, the next thing is, but let's go back to the process. So from then we will also have idea. Now that you've made the payments, after you paid, it will take a while, like probably normally give them probably 1 week before you have access to the form will now be available for you to fill. Remember, you are filling the form online. When you fill the form online, that does not mean your process is online. You will get what we call a confirmation in your email. But when we get to that stage, I will also explain what does it mean. So in this case now, we have civil documents. We have, for those of us that we scan, I think majority of scan document submission and some other thing will be for another phase. Then you prepare interview preparation, applicant interview, after the interview. So let me show us something at this point. So now how do we get to this page? It is very simple. All we need to do is come to travel.state.gov. I'll put the link on the bio of this video, and you can also use it and do where it's when you will see the link. The link will be there for you to read more about it. Now let's move on. Now, when you get to this type of visa you have in under this place, we have US visa. Then you come to this immigrant. From here, when you click this one, the one you are doing for EB1, EB2 is employment-based green card. So you click on employment-based. If it is for family, this is family-based for adoption and different, all kind of visas they have. So under the employment base, you click on this, you can see you have different information. IVP processing, if you want to learn more, you can read on this particular to know. But in this case now, where I'm going is, we are moving towards this particular one. Let's explore here how to contact MVC. So from how to contact MVC, click on mvc.state.gov. Here is the process that I was trying to explain to us. So remember your petition has been approved. You finish step 1. Step 2 is this where we are. So on this particular side, what are the things do I need to do in this case? Number 1 thing is click on this. If you click on this, you have a lot of different time frame, MVC, how does MVC operate? But to cut the long story short, because of our time, this is how you pay from here. This is how this one will look like. Let's click on our application online. You click on application online. So you can see the S260 form will be in this category. Let's look at the sample for DS260 form. So it is a very voluminous, but don't be scared. It's not for you. Everything there is not for you only. So I will always advise to download the sample, DS260 sample. Download it, study it before you make your payments or before your form is available. So once you download it, you can study it and prepare all those documents, all those information they ask for. So these are the things I would like to lay emphasis on this. Number 1, not everything in this form is for you. Have it at the back of your mind. Only those that are for aspect that are for you will open for you, and you'll be able to put in some of your details. And or remember, this particular visa is evidence-based. So the evidence-based means you have to keep all the information you have put in there. So let's move on our slide. So now that we are in this place, let's move to the next and see. So step 7, that is our own target, which is collect civil documents. How do I know? Remember, part of the email MVC will send to you, they will have put, there are some front page you will see, there are some checkpoints, there are some lists they will put in front of it. But some of us have more documents. Our documents are varied. So when you have those checklists, check those checklists. You must follow those checklists. And remember, the checklists are not for you only. Not everything in that checklist is for you. So you need to be also careful when you don't need to panic. Just read those documents and see those ones, which one is for me, which one are not for me. So here I will still go back. Let me just quickly go through it this way, then we'll check it one after the other. Now, in the DS260, each family member immigrating with you must collect the civil document required to support your visa application. Remember, evidence-based. So all these documents must be prepared. Your civil document must be issued by the official issuing of authority in your country. I will use Nigeria as an example. If you are from South Africa, go through you will see this is where you will select also those in your country. You select you select the country. There is a place, it's a country specific guideline. Each of the country has their own guideline. For example, it said, please note that all documents not written in English or official language of the country from which you are applying must be accompanied by certified translation. The translation must include a statement signed by translator stating that the translation is adequate and the translator is competent to translate. For example, if you are applying from France or Congo or French-speaking country, meaning that, and your certificate is, they use French to write it, or they use German, anything they use to write it, you have to translate it. Or probably from South Africa, they use Zulu to write, or whatever they use. Any language, you have to translate it. And important notice on missing document. If you have to follow your country, when we get to that place, I will also explain what it means. What are the things we need to do? Part of things that are important on that civil document is your birth certificate. Remember, I said I will use Nigeria as an example. In Nigeria, the only birth certificate they will accept from you is National Population Commission. But you have to be careful. For those of us that were born after, they born some of us, but we are not registered with National Population Certificate Commission. You have to go back to the place. Let's say you are born before they created the commission. There's something we call there is a document you obtain from the registrar. They call it registration of birth. So how do you obtain the registration of birth? You need to go to the state headquarters of the National Population Commission. Now, it's already described. It described it there. It said certificate of birth. They said multiple versions of the form are issued. They are typically printed on white paper with green background, lettering, seal, and ink. It simply means they know you can't just bring any document. You have to take your time, make sure you obtain original document from the issuing authority. Don't just look for anyhow documents. They know, read this document. because they will use all these against you. That look at the description there. It's our government that gave them that this is what we will be issuing out. So once you see this, accept it is from us. Now, they put it, they said the child of every child born, the birth of every child born in Nigeria shall be registered by the registrar of the National Population Commission or any person working under his authority. Don't say, oh, I have my, when we go, during our child dedication, they are giving us something in our church or in our mosque or in anywhere or in our local government. It's another thing. But this must be from National Population Commission. Please, let's take note of that. Visit any national or office in any local government secretariat, they will give it to you. But for those of us, look at this, they put it there. For people born prior to 1979 or in some cases prior 1988, a birth certificate issued by local government authority or hospital or Baptist, it said, is acceptable. However, there is also a national population attestation of birth. So this is what they are normally collecting from us now. They will collect because the one of local government, I remember then they returned my documents because you just have to use the authentic they are taking from us now is National Population Attestation of Birth Certificate. For those of us that were born prior before they created this particular commission. Please take note. And you can only get this at the state headquarters. Don't just go to local government because local government issued the new birth. But state headquarters issued attestation of birth certificate to the people of Nigeria. So let's take note of all these simple things and keep the original after you scan it. Make sure you keep the original. Then likewise, the death certificate also, they have the death certificate at the National Population Commission. So when you get there, tell them what you want to use it for. Venture, one partner is late or passed on, so you need to get the death certificate. Why? Because your in-law tomorrow you might be filing for them. So now, all these documents already there. You documented it, or probably your parents. You want to claim, or probably the pastor, and you can put their death certificates there late. Why? Because tomorrow your nephew or your uncle, you might want to file for any of them. So it's already documented that you've mentioned so issue. So for the marriage, they know also our marriage certificate. So you can't just go and get anyhow. Just try as much as possible, obtain correct marriage certificates. Do you know that they already describe it on their page? And in Nigeria government only recognize two marriage. It said the marriage certificates they recognize are. They said Nigerian law recognize multiple type of legal marriage, each with their own requirements. Each with their own requirements. They said the two main type of customary marriage and registry marriage. So you want the customary, if it is customary marriage, you have it here. If you want the type of customary marriage that has already been stated. However, remember, one of the things I would like to quickly say here is this. Some local governments will issue certificates based on affidavits by their registration, but out of it, we still have another one. Let's look at this. We have registry too. We have registry marriage. Virtually all the local governments, they are doing the registry marriage. We have 774 local governments. I think, yes, it's already stated. If you look at the 2C, they said it's already there. So there are 774 local governments within Nigeria. So it simply means Nigeria, they said the inaccessibility of Nigeria's limited number of federal marriage registry office has led to the opening of local marriage registry office by nearly all LGA, local government area. So let's take notes of that. So just to save your head, just go to the registry, obtain one, and it's will be of good documents and to send to the MPC for that. Then national ID card. Now we have me. So national identity identification identity card. It's also, we have them. It's also available now, I think, for the call it for alternative. Probably you want to document your dad or your parent or your mom. They don't have an international passport and they have NIM. You can use that NIM for them. But you and I know that for you to travel, you need international passport, which is ECOWAS based. So you cannot do without international passports. So we have our international passport being described here. So these are the documents that you will need also to send to them. How do you obtain it? We all know how to get, go to your, to get your, you go to immigration and get your international passports so that all these documents will also be of help. Now, this is one of the things that are very crucial, which is police certificate. Now, let me create a scenario. I'll use myself as an example. I studied in South Africa. My country of birth is Nigeria. Then I was working in the UK. So during that period, that was when I was filing my own case. And it's already stated there that but you will need police certificate at least anywhere you stay more than 6 months. So I studied in South Africa for more than 3 years. So I need certificate for that. I need certificate for Nigeria, making 2 certificates, police clearance. I need another certificate of where I'm staying that I'm applying from, which is United Kingdom at that time. So making 3 certificates for me alone. So those 3 certificates, I have to provide them. So if you are staying somewhere and if you are staying probably you stay in more than 3 or 4 countries, that means you just have to get their police certificate. All those police certificates will help because they are part of, because in the DS-260, there is a place whereby you have to give the history where you've stayed after you've clocked a particular age till now. So when you are giving the history and you already mentioned you stay in probably in Cameroon, you stay in Nigeria, you stay in Togo, and now you are in the United Kingdom, you already put all those. Then the certificate, police certificate has to follow, and you must get it from the authority. Look at the one of Nigeria, the way they describe it. We have old certificate, but now it is automated now, and they already put the link where you can obtain it. So you have no excuse at that point. The Nigeria authority continue to issue police character certificate in both old and new formats. Now, if you are getting old format, it simply means you must attach fingerprint. It's already stated. It said they are typically printed on white paper with red background lettering. So they will describe it for you. Fingerprint card must be submitted along with the police certificate. So if you are using old one, you must have your fingerprint must be submitted along. But if you are now using the new one, which is automated one, there is no need for you. It's already put there. They said no fingerprint card are submitted along with the police certificate if it is for new one. But don't forget, they will put 3 months into it. But Department of State in America do something very important. Any certificate you collected can stay up to 6 or up to 2 years. So yes, it's 3 months, but it's still valid for them up to 2 years. So you don't need to be panicked. So where is the authority that you can get it? You get it at the Department of Force in Alagbon, Lagos. 4CIID Lagos. That's where you get the police certificate in Nigeria. So these are also the procedure, the way to get the police certificate in Nigeria. So let's go to our online. So now that we are here, what I was trying to explain the other time, after you make the payments, this step, you're already here. Step 7, somebody will ask, oh, what happened to step 6? Remember step 6, we've done that. This is where you pay for your documents already open, you fill the form, they will send you evaluation, they will send you the confirmation form after you fill. Then you move on to step 7, civil documents. Now, how do I know? They already put all the civil documents here. Now, let's go to the police clearance, police certificate that I told you. Here is the police certificate. Now, look at this message. It said, important, police certificate expire after 2 years, unless the certificate was issued from the country of previous residence and you have not returned here since the police certificate was issued. I use myself as an example. Let's say okay, I stayed in Nigeria and I collected police certificates. Okay, I left South Africa. Let's say year 2020, I left South Africa. So, and I get my police certificate along the line when I was leaving. So, on getting to the United Kingdom, before the 2 years, let's say after the 2 years, I've not returned to the same country. I think the certificate, according to their statement, is still valid to some point. So, since I've not returned to that country again, the previous residence where I was staying before. So, and who are those? What are the criteria? This is just the general criteria. They said if you are 16 years old age or older, you must obtain a copy of police certificate. Peradventure your kid, your children, they already age 18, from 16, 18, 17, and so on. They must have police certificate from their country of origin and where you are currently. You must get them police certificate for those of that age. Otherwise, if they are not up to that age, then you can leave them alone. So if you have adoption, this is the way you state the adoption in the general. If your own is, like I told you, birth certificate is part of those copy, you need part of the civil document, because majorly it's all about civil document. Then you move to this side. If you don't have any court or any certified document, put it there. You don't need to fill this form, this particular area. The marriage certificate, I've explained it to us. The military, if you have military record, petitioner document. So your data page of your passport photograph, international passport. So we have to also put it there. So how do I know my country? Yes, it's very simple. Just click on this place. Yes, look for your country. Like I'm working on Nigeria. Yes, look for Nigeria, go there. Here is Nigeria. So everything they say in the general phase, now you will now look at the specific or that peculiar to Nigeria. So you click on those Nigeria. If it is South Africa too, you look at it. The general documents, you look at it. So look at what they put here. If you open another country, it might not be the same. Let's go to South Africa. Let's go to South Africa. Here is South Africa. Okay. So we have South Africa here. Their own marriage certificates might be different. Look at it. But in Nigeria, we have a very long list. Their own birth certificate, it's different. So look at it. It's already stated there. They have South Africa ID. Their police, they know. Victoria is the one that issued, they will issue their own police clearance from there. So each country has their own peculiar information. Don't use general one to treat the issue whereby when you are filing, when you are doing your self petition. We can also check another country. Let's say Argentina. Now look at the document. Let's look at their own marriage too. Look at it. Let's look at their police clearance. They also have their own separately. So you have to follow this one by one. Look at the link and follow it one by one so that after this particular submission, your document will not be returned to you. If I look at DRC Congo now, let's look at the Congo. Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's see. DRC. So let's look at their police clearance. So look at their police clearance. Then, so we have different, so you can't just look at the general one. Make sure you obtain the right document. Look at their passport. It's already stated everything one by one. Then if you look at their own marriage also, you have the marriage certificates also. So all these documents are key in. If you look at the birth certificate too, they have it also. So after all this, what next? What do I need to do? Next thing I need to do is, do I need to, then when you are filling the form, they already put what we call the address whereby you will send all these documents. What I always advise people is, since you will not be there, one of those key things you need to take note that must be inside your envelope is, number one is your confirmation they send to your form. Confirmation that you fill DS-260, they send it to your email. It must be part of the document. Number two, you must have, they already put it there, or the checklist. Your checklist will be the cover page, and the confirmation of DS-260 will follow. Then the birth certificate, then the marriage certificate, the police clearance will also follow. And then don't forget the birth certificates that I will discuss. If you are from Nigeria, you have attestation of birth for the parent, while the National Population Commission for the children, also their certificate will also be part of it. So we all then don't, the number of police clearance, the number of police clearance where you stay will determine the number of police clearance you're going to send certificates you will have. So after your document has been sent to them, if you are filling the form, there is a place whereby you will see the address whereby you need to send it to. Otherwise, you can check online, or you will see where they normally send it. I think somewhere in Rochester or thereabouts, they normally send the document to in the envelope. But what I always advise people is this: the case number are the same. Then evidence that you paid, they send it to you, print it out, put it inside. Also, the evidence, those evidence are those ones they will check, and they will now send another email that you are now documentally qualified. How do you send it? How do you arrange it? After you've arranged your own as a principal applicant, your independents, please get separate envelope for them. Put each of them in different envelope, write their name on the back, and the same case number for each of them, and put everything into big envelope. Just one document. Then write your detail and where it's going to. Make sure you use courier service where you can track whether it's there or not, so that you have the evidence with you that, oh, I was able to track it, so person received it. So in case you do not hear from them, after a while, you can send them an email or go online and look at, there's a place whereby you can make it, you can send an inquiry that you send your documents and you not hear from them. So they will reply you, state your case number, put whatever you use, envelope, whatever evidence you have, send it across. They will tell you the state where it is, and you will surely get back. They will surely get back to you. So after you now documentally qualify, what next do I need to do? Then that is when you will wait. That's where we call it waiting period. You wait till your case is being your is you have it, you are current. What do we mean by current? Let's say you the we have EB1, EB2. EB1 for now is current. Current means they are attending to the EB1 now. You don't have any backlog on EB1. It's current, it's a current thing. That's just a layman language. But if you check uh the MPC requirement, the bulletin, they always publish it. But for those of us outside, I always tell my people that ask me question. Oh, I've been waiting. This is almost 12 months now. What is going on? Are you sure they will still answer me? Yes, they will do answer. They will answer you. Always remember that the the bulletin they are talking about, it majorly work for people inside. Once the bulletin is hits their period, they say, oh, you can now come and submit. They will now go and submit. But for those of us outside, until when embassy has a space, so just calm down. When embassy have a space, they will call you. They will call you, they will send invitation to you that so date is your date of interview. So now after the you receive that email, two things happen. Number one, before you go for your interview, you must do your medical. Now it depends on the country you of your residence. In United Kingdom, we do the medical in London, and in Nigeria, we do it in Lagos and Abuja. Other country, once you are given this, the date of interview, just Google it. In South Africa, I think they do it in Joburg or thereabouts. So all you need to do is just Joburg and Cape Town, if I'm not mistaken it. So you can, what I would advise is this, anytime, any day they call for that, just take your time. Call, because if you cannot do the medical before the day of your interview. Why? Because the medical only have 6 months, valid for 6 months. After 6 months, you have to do another one. So and most cases, the day you do your interview, the day you do your medical, that is the first day. That day, go and write that date down. Count the next 6 months. That is when you must enter United States. Because your visa only have your medical only have 6 months to expire, and you don't want it to expire and you are still out there. So try as much as possible. Immediately you receive your email that your interview date is so day, please go online, make call to the medical people, book appointment, because they will ask you when it's your interview date. They are aware that you've been called also for the interview. So immediately they do that, go ahead and try and make appointments with your interview with the medical. But what I always tell people is this: before the medical, you can update all your immunization, your vaccine. It's online. The vaccine for Nigeria, as a Nigerian, you have to take your COVID vaccine. You have to take so many the list are numerous. They are online. You can Google them. The medical requirements for Nigeria, US medical requirements. So it's there online. The lists are very long. So, and it's age by age. So you have it. So you vaccination summary. for the US. So you can get those vaccine, the recommended vaccine, they are there for you to pick it up. For the immigrant visa. So you can see COVID-19 is one of those key vaccine you must take. So they have the requirements, go online, see them, and the country where you are resident will also give you the requirements. You can Google it, tailor it to your country where you are currently staying. So you see the list, then the one you are both, they will tell you you don't need to collect. The one you are still within your age bracket, you can go and collect it and make sure you have the evidence of receiving those vaccine. Then you tender those evidence to them. You can show them, give it to them during the medical examination, and it will be documented for you. So all these are not hard. We just have to do the right thing. And at the end of the day, I believe after you do all this, so what do I need to go with during my interview preparation? All the original documents must follow you to the interview. All the original documents. Remember, you have your attestation of birth, you have your birth certificate, you have your marriage certificate, you have all your police clearance, all your police certificates, you have everything. You have your certificate, your degree we're talking about, especially for those of us with PhD, you have it, you have your master's, you have your BSc, go with original certificate. So the consular might decide to check, you can give it to them. Yes, you've done your WES evaluation, you have all those documents. Go, including your primary certificates, primary school certificate, go with it. All your certificates, including your wife, let them go. And so by the time you get there, you'll be able, they will ask you a question. And the question always simple, what are you going to do in the United States? So maybe next time we'll be talking about those professional questions they do ask on the, but the cases vary anyway. The cases vary, so you don't need to rely on those tips. They are very simple things. They believe you have your master's as you claim. They believe you know what you want to do in the United States. They believe you will not be a burden to the states. So it's pretty simple. So, so these are the tips that I just decided. I said, okay, let me give it to us. And so we can share it among our friends, among your colleagues that are interested or their case is already been approved. I believe it will contribute one or two things. They'll gain one or two things or learn one or two things in my own way. So probably next time we'll be talking about preparation of interview, applicants interview, and after interview, what next? How do I comport myself? What are the things do I need to do after the interview? When should I start applying for a job? Please start immediately. Your cases have been approved. Please start immediately applying for a job. Oh, what about what they asked me? What do I have? Tell them you have a green card. You are working on your green. Just tell them green card, permanent resident, because that's the process you're doing. And immediately you are called. Definitely. It's a rigorous, but it's worth it. I wish you good luck. I wish you best of God, and God will crown all our efforts. Thank you for listening. My name is Shegun, okay? Like I told you, I'm not an immigration expert. I'm just trying to share my own little knowledge that I've gained over the years during the course of applying for this. So I just decided to check to share the little tips with us. So I wish you guys good luck. If you have any question, please put it in the comments. We can engage me in the comments, and from then we talk more and more. Thank you guys for listening. And I'm very grateful to have you on board today. Bye for now.